Hello everyone and welcome back to the Solicitors of Black Origin Vodcast series, brought to you by Camelia Gina Gamoiwa and Darfin Kakara Wilson.
In today's vodcast we will be discussing vacation schemes, what they are and how to go about getting one. Securing a vacation placement early on in your career is so important. Luckily, SOBO is here to help show you how.
Well, what is a vacation placement? It is basically an internship at a law firm that enables you to find out whether or not law is right for you, and what sort of law firm will suit your best. Law firms use vacation placements as a way of assessing you to see whether or not you would fit in well as a trainee later on. Vacation placements are usually 2 weeks long and sometimes firms pay as much as £400 per week. So, how do you get a vacation placement?
First and foremost, do your research. Find out what firms are offering vacation scheme placements, who is eligible to apply and when the deadlines are for submission. A useful resource is the Chambers and Partners Student Guide at www.chambersstudent.co.uk. Then you need to start researching into the firms you are interested in. Find out about their practice areas, the industry sectors they specialize in, any big deals they are known for, any new offices they have opened, their biggest clients, their latest financial reports and any recent news.
To find this information, a good place to start is the firm's website. Also, try finding out more about the firm in the legal press. Helpful websites include www.legalweek.com, www.lawyer2b.com, www.lawcareers.net, www.legal500.com and www.lex100.com.
Once you have done this, you will start to get a feel for the differences between the various law firms that offer vacation placements. Some are enormous international commercial practices with in-depth expertise in a number of industry sectors. These are known as the Magic Circle firms and include the likes of Allen & Overy, Clifford Chance, Linklaters, Slaughter and May and Freshfields.
Others are slightly smaller practices that still have multiple departments and practice internationally but tend to have a smaller turnover. These are known as the Silver Circle firms and include Hogan Lovells, Herbert Smith, Simmons & Simmons, Norton Rose, Dealer Piper and Ashurst.
Alternatively, you could be interested in some of the American law firms offering vacation placements in London. The American practices tend to pay more, but be warned, they are notorious for demanding longer hours. These firms include Skadden Arps, Sheeman & Sterling, Whale Gutschall, Baker & McKenzie, Reed Smith, Kirkland & Ellis, White & Case and Mayer Brown.
Perhaps you prefer the sound of the mid-tier or regional practices. These are significantly smaller law firms who tend to serve a different client base to the other larger law firms and also have fewer offices. Firms in this category include Schuwsmiths, Trowers and Hamlins, Beechcroft, Adlesh Goddard or Rag & Company.
Okay, now you are ready to tackle the application form. After filling in your personal details and qualifications, one of the first questions you will usually see is, why have you chosen to pursue a career in law? This can often be a daunting question, as you may not yet know conclusively that law is the right career for you. Try to think about what sparked your initial interest in the subject. Were you perhaps interested in seeing the practical application of your legal studies? Was there media coverage of a particular case that you were interested in? Alternatively, did you see something in the film or TV show that prompted you to find out more?
Perhaps you find the work that lawyers do particularly interesting. Try to think about what specifically interests you about working as a solicitor. Do you relish the thought of intellectually stimulating and challenging work? Can you handle working to tight deadlines in a fast-paced working environment? Do you look forward to working on headline-making deals with lawyers from across the world? Perhaps you are enticed by the financial benefits and the opportunities to travel. These are all legitimate reasons for being interested in law. If they apply to you, put them in your answer, all the while thinking about how the skills you possess translate well into a career as a lawyer.
Typically, the next question you will see is, why have you applied to our firm? This is really just a way for the firm to see that you have done your research and you are able to present your findings in an original way. Graduate recruitment teams hate to see their own information regurgitated back at them, so please do not copy and paste information from the firm's website.
Think about what attracted you to the firm in the first place. Have you met anyone at the firm who gave you a favorable impression? Have you heard about any exciting deals that they have been involved in? Make sure you include all of this in your answer. Also think about what differentiates the firm from its competitors. Perhaps it has a unique training program or has a strong reputation in a certain practice area. Emphasize the fact that you are keen to find out more about the firm and hope to do so through a vacation placement.
Usually the next question will ask you to discuss your extracurricular activities, hobbies and positions of responsibility. This may seem like a fairly easy question, but it is important to highlight the skills you have acquired as a result of your involvement with each activity and how these relate back to a career in law.
For example, if you are captain of the basketball team, this demonstrates leadership skills, strong interpersonal skills and dedication. Alternatively, you may sing in a choir. This shows the ability to work in a team and the confidence to address large audiences. You don't always have to be in a position of responsibility to demonstrate the skills that the recruiters are looking for.
Following this, you will typically be asked to outline your work experience to date. Be sure to outline your role, your responsibilities, what you learnt and the skills you acquired, again relating this all back to a career in law. It doesn't matter if your work experience is not law-related, there are plenty of jobs in which you develop vital competencies that are essential for a career in law.
Here is an example of a write-up from a sales assistant job. Working in customer relations as a sales assistant at TK Maxx enabled me to improve my interpersonal skills. I processed refunds and dealt with customer inquiries on wide-ranging issues. Dealing with the public, often in a pressurized environment, forced me to think logically and creatively to resolve problems whilst remaining professional at all times. I was responsible for managing tills, cashing up at the end of each day as well as stock clearance. I was involved in the daily coordination of recovery efforts in the allocated departments, taking responsibility both for my own unit and those of my colleagues. Ultimately, I developed an ability to prioritize my workload to meet deadlines and sales targets, demonstrating independence and the ability to work in a team.
Yes, I can see that this person has talked about all the skills that are required to work as a solicitor, even though they were working as a sales assistant.
Exactly, this is what recruiters want to see.
Okay, well, for some law firms, you will also be asked some competency-based questions. These are a tool that recruiters use to extract real-life examples that demonstrate your skills and abilities. When answering these questions, use the STAR technique and break the answer up into the situation, the task, the action and the result. That way your answer is clear, coherent and precise. Here is a model answer to the question. Give an example of a time when you have successfully managed a project and how did you cope with unexpected obstacles?
I currently volunteer part-time at a local charity. As a volunteer, I facilitate staff members in their endeavors and supervise the use of the annual budget. We recently launched an award-winning recreational project offering a self-development curriculum to boost aspirational values. However, a seemingly insurmountable obstacle was engaging with young people who were disinclined to attend our sessions. To overcome this, I pioneered an online lifestyle show featuring interviews with celebrities who endorsed our initiatives. In order to air each week, I networked extensively and made useful industry contacts, often exhibiting strong leadership and management qualities. I made presentations to our sponsors and guaranteed the financing of the show for the next few years. Another challenge was retaining staff following abusive behavior from a minority of the youth group. Consequently, I invited each mentor to a counseling session to improve their understanding of the challenges that many youths faced. By so doing, each staff member was better equipped to deal with difficulties on the job. The scheme dramatically reduced antisocial behavior and increased rates of entry into higher education and employment. My team and I were honored with a prestigious National Charity Award in recognition of our commitment to community development.
As you can see from the example, the STAR method has been used and the reader is able to understand the situation, the action that was taken and the results that were achieved. This method can be applied to any competency-based question.
Absolutely. Next, you will be asked to put down your qualifications to date. Please be honest about your results, even the bad ones. You can explain any discrepancies or poor results in the mitigating circumstances section. Remember, it's always better for recruiters to understand your current grades as opposed to thinking that you are incapable of getting better results. Also remember that only serious issues will be taken into consideration as a mitigating circumstance, so if you don't really have anything to say in this section, then leave it blank.
Well, there you have it. SOBO's hints and tips on how to wow recruiters on your vacation scheme application form. Try to get your applications in as early as possible. Most firms refuse submissions after the 31st of January, but some have earlier deadlines, so check well in advance. Remember, the deadline for SOBO applications is the 1st of December, so if you still haven't submitted your application, get it in ASAP.
Check your spelling, grammar and punctuation over and over again. Get your friends and family to review your application, and if you are still unsure, email your draft application to sobo.uk@gmail.com and we will look over it and provide constructive feedback.
Thank you for joining us this week. Next time we will be discussing commercial awareness and how to stay ahead of the game with your business acumen. Remember, celebrate your accomplishments but raise the bar a little higher each time you succeed.